YSL currently has multiple releases in its men's fragrance catalog that have achieved a great deal of popularity. Y Eau de Parfum is a bestseller and has been for more than a handful of years now. Myslf EDP is a more recent release, but has also become a favorite among fragrance enjoyers and will no doubt spawn further perfumes under the Myslf title. YEDP starts off with its bold kick. It's a strong bergamot, apple, and ginger blend initially. Then will come the amber, juniper berry, and tonka bean. However, that initial blast is quite juicy, bold, and blue. The apple and bergamot pairing really grabs my attention with its crisp bite. The sage also comes through quite a bit, even at this early point of the process. Myslf starts off with bergamot and orange blossom as its main two ingredients. It's fresh, dynamic, and it also has a bit of a creaminess to the aroma. The orange blossom adds that aspect, but doesn't get to add too much sweetness during the beginning. But the very opening stage is a bergamot-centered fragrance. That will change later on, but for the start, it's a fresh, citrusy cologne. Which is better? This is a close race between them, as sometimes YEDP can be a bit too bold for me in the opening act. Yet I think that I still prefer what I get versus Myslf at the start. Both are enjoyable, but I have a slight preference. Moving on to the performances of these two perfumes, YEDP does start off with plenty of punch, and it comes across as being quite strong. However, I'd call it above average overall. Not a monster, but very solid and noticeable throughout. That first hour or so can be a lot, especially when going with a higher number of sprays, though it always seems to calm down for me while still having a good amount of strength. Myslf for the first hour is actually pretty strong. Not a heavy fragrance, but it will create a substantial enough scent trail in your wake. It never hits the same level as the other YSL scent. After that, it's more of an intimate scent surrounding you. I'd say it sticks in that 1 to 3 foot range off of the skin, but it's still noticeable. YEDP lasts for about 10 hours on my skin. It might go for a little longer or even for a shorter duration, depending on the circumstances. However, it almost always seems to hit that double-digit mark for me. Myslf EDP lasts for 6 to 7 hours before it has faded away entirely. It's fine, just not a great performer. Y Eau de Parfum is much more of a performer than what you'll get with the serviceable, newer YSL release. Myslf Eau de Parfum is an easy-to-wear fragrance that it can fit in pretty much anywhere during any time of year. Maybe not during the daytime in summer, but outside of that it's fine. It's an easy one to just spray on as an everyday wear, but is attractive enough to hit the nightlife, even if that's not its main function. It's not going to overwhelm and can work for all age groups without issue. YEDP will also work pretty much year-round. Again, I'd go with something lighter on the hottest days of the year. It is also one that can fit in basically anywhere. Neither of these is the most formal fragrance ever, and you might want to go with Myslf if you want a scent that is more understated. However, I don't see much separation in this category. Overall, which of these two YSL colognes do I like better? Myslf EDP is an enjoyable wear. Simple and pleasant. I like the opening act with the citrus burst. It's very versatile and can easily slot in as a daily wear cologne. There's some additional woodiness and amber in the back half, though this fragrance isn't too complicated. The performance is decent, but not great, and I don't think the scent overall holds up in comparison to YEDP smells great and has mass appeal. Sometimes I'm not in the mood for such a bluish cologne, but this YSL works perfectly when I am. It has similarities with other popular fragrances, but utilizes different notes to make it distinct from the pack. I love the apple, bergamot, and sage at the top. The crispness, the clean and modern scent, and the performance doesn't disappoint. For me, I enjoy the experience of wearing Y more so than what I get with Myslf. Even if I think that the latter one is a very nice perfume, I would still choose YEDP over the other release, Myslf Le Parfum also,